Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. We are ready for the event.
Houston ACR, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call Station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me?
Houston ACR, this is Station. We hear you loud and clear. How else?
Got you loud and clear. Please stand by for opening remarks.
Hello, and welcome from Robert A. Moshbacher Odyssey Academy. My name is Holly Bailey, and I'm the principal of the Galveston campus. When Mr. Moshbacher founded Odyssey Academy in 1998, he had a vision for the students of Galveston County and beyond. He wanted to create enriched opportunities for students and their families. We are very thankful and excited about this enriched out-of-this-world opportunity for our students. And now for our first question.
Hi, my name is Deanna Womack. My question is, what happens when you first return to Earth and get off the spacecraft?
To all the students of Odyssey Academy, welcome to the International Space Station on behalf of Expedition 69 and the NASA team. Well, Steve has landed a lot more times than I have, so I'll let him answer that first question.
I think it really depends on how long you're up here and what you did while you're up in space. So my first few missions were fairly short, just a couple weeks. And so the immediate effects were sort of that vestibular. You felt a little dizzy, a little wobbly, and after a couple hours or a couple days, that kind of went away. My calves ached once I started walking again, because for 2 weeks I essentially didn't use them. But for a space station mission for 6 months, it takes about 6 weeks before you start really feeling normal. And we'll have those dizziness, those vestibular issues as our gyroscopes basically start spinning back up once we get back down on Earth. And then all the hopefully the hard work we've done up here with load-bearing exercise will help our system adjust to being functional back on Earth. Gravity is going to be a brand new experience in a lot of ways. It's going to be a lot of learning, I think. I was going to say a lot of fun, but I'm not sure how much fun it's going to be based on talking to my friends who have come back. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting. And hopefully you recover over a period of time. That bone density, muscle mass, I think we've got a pretty good handle on. Hopefully we've done our hard work, so that will get fully recovered. There have been vision issues in the past. We'll see how those resolve over time. I don't know how we're doing on that. We'll know when we get back to Earth. But there are long-term effects that we'll need to understand, and that's part of the reason we do this, is to understand them better.
Hi, my name is Sadie Welch. I'm from Odyssey Academy Bay Area. My question is, what kind of research do you do in space?
Hey, Sadie. We do a lot of really cool research, but we do a lot of basic research up here, meaning it's not that it's simple, but that we're starting off kind of at the bottom of the research pole and doing a lot of the things that scientists can then use to make the final product back on Earth. And so we look at different materials, like how metals form up here, how crystals form. We've actually just recently looked at how we can make fiber optics, because in the lack of gravity and microgravity, things form a little bit differently. We also do a lot of biological sciences up here. Just this morning, I was actually working on an experiment that's growing stem cells, and that's because stem cells in our bodies tend to grow inside of our bone marrow. And so we think that in microgravity, because they're in that suspended state like they are in our bone marrow, they'll actually grow healthier, and that'll help us in the future to deal with things like leukemias, which are blood cancers, and other things that stem cell might be useful for in our bodies. We've also looked at 3D printing different human materials. We actually just did our first meniscus, which is a very simple tissue. But if that's successful, we're hoping to someday be able to do things like blood vessels and eventually do things like entire organs like hearts or livers or kidneys. And that would be pretty awesome.
Hi, my name is Isabella. My question is, what do you think is most amazing about space?
The most amazing thing about space is the fact that we're able to live up here. It's absolutely incredible to think that people have continuously living on board this station for almost 23 years now. When I was your age, that had not happened. And basically, as long as anybody 23 years old or younger has been alive, people have been continuously living in space. That is absolutely unbelievable. I don't think we've come to grips with that bit of understanding. So I think that's the most remarkable thing about space. Floating, obviously, is pretty cool. Hopefully I don't float away here. But, there are other things as well.
Hi, my name is Malaysia Livingston. My question is, how long does it take to become an astronaut?
Hey, Malaysia. Well, it's actually a really long process. So once you're selected, you have 2 years of what we call kind of basic training. You learn how to do your basic spacewalking skills, how to drive the robotic arm that we use on station. You learn how to fly in a supersonic jet. You also learn Russian language. And then after those 2 years, you'll usually help out in the office. And then once you get assigned to your first mission, you train for 2 years for that specific mission. So usually from the time you get selected to the time you fly for the first time is anywhere from 5 to 10 years. And then after that, you'll, on average, fly about every 5 or 6 years. So it's a long process, but this is an incredibly complicated thing that we do. And so it just takes a long time to learn what you need to learn to be up here.
Hi, my name is Jordan Hernandez. My question is, what is your favorite thing to eat when you're in space?
There are a lot of fun things to eat up here. I think my current favorite food right now is sort of spaghetti and meat sauce, but candy is always fun to eat up here. You can let things float. Hopefully you don't make too much debris, because then we have to clean that up. But anything that you enjoy on Earth, usually you'll end up enjoying in space as well. And it varies over time. I've been here for 6 months, and a month ago, my favorite food would have been something else. So just like Earth, things change over time, and the food is really good. For what we are doing up here, it's amazing how good the food is.
Hi, my name is Abigail Huff, and my question is, how does learning about space help us on Earth?
Hey, Abigail. Well, space is present in a lot of parts of our lives. Probably the most common way nowadays is GPS, right? It's in our phones. Heck, it's in our watches. Airplanes use GPS to fly. Even farmers use it now to grow their crops in a lot more efficient way. So space helps us there. I talked about some of the science that we do and how that helps our health. And some of the materials that we're developing up here will someday allow us to have faster connections for things like internet or cellular connections. So all those things really play a part in our daily lives. And then also the fact that, like Steve said, we've been up here for 23 years as people, but satellites have been around for much longer than that. And so what that allows us to do is kind of have a repetitive, constant view of the Earth and lets us study how the changes over time are progressing so that we can better understand, hey, what do we need to do to help our planet out and protect it so that you young kids can enjoy an even better planet than we had. Space is really present in our lives, and it's really cool to be a part of helping humanity out by being up here.
Hi, my name is Anaya Recheta. My question is, how do you get back in the space station after a spacewalk?
Well, it's really important to get back into space station when you go outside to do a spacewalk. So you go outside, and how that works is we actually have a special module that we close off. We close it off from the rest of the space station. We pump down the air out of it, and you end up in a vacuum. And then you release what little air is left out into space. So we recycle as much as we can. And so that module will remain open to space for the duration of our spacewalk. We'll go outside and we'll do our work for 5, 6 hours, whatever it takes. We'll come back inside. We'll close a hatch on that module, seal it off, and then we'll bring the air back into that module from inside the space station, and we'll repressurize it back up to the normal pressure, which is where we're living right now. I mean, this pressure on board space station is essentially the same as it is there on Earth. But we have a special module called an airlock, and that literally locks in air or locks out air depending on what you're doing.
Hi, my name is Sadie Welch. I'm from Odyssey Academy Bay Area. My question is, what do you do for entertainment in space?
Hey again, Sadie. Well, you know, we quite a few different things. The best thing we do is hang out with our friends up here, and we tend to do that a lot. We'll eat meals together, hang out at night, and just talk about what we did during the day or talk about things back home. We also have a library of movies that we can watch, and there's some brand new movies and there's some really old movies, and you can kind of catch up on any movies that you may not have seen before. And then a lot of us just enjoy reading. You know, a way to just relax is you read a book and listen to some music and just enjoy. But really, yeah, we try to do things that allow us to relax and take a break from the work that we do up here.
Hi, my name is Elijah Arena. My question is, what material is used to make astronaut boots?
So the material that is used to make astronaut boots, it's actually, it's a multi-layered material. So you've got, it's hard to explain, but there's different layers of cloth that have different purposes. There's a rubber bladder on the inside with a metal seal that connects it to the suit if you're going outside. Actually, right now we should probably say this. I'm in socks, so I don't wear boots inside. Rarely, well, I guess when we're running on the treadmill, we wear boots. We wear shoes of some form. But when you go outside, the boots we wear are very special because they not only have to seal the air in, so there's a metal seal and a rubber liner on the inside, but then it has to protect you from the environment of space. Not just the vacuum, but the extreme heat, the extreme cold, even a little bit of micrometeorite protection. So it has many layers that provide those that protection for your boot. It's the same as the rest of the suit. It's pretty remarkable material.
Hi, my name is Jan, and my question is, why do astronauts' muscles get weaker in space?
Hey, Ian. Well, it's because muscles need to work to stay strong. And up here, it's just really easy to move around because we're floating all the time. And so your legs especially, they're not, you're not standing up, you're not walking, you're not running. And so they just get weaker because you don't use them quite as much as you normally do back on Earth. And that's just in day-to-day use, right? So we just kind of float around from place to place. You see that we use our feet to grab onto things. And so it's just super easy. And then because of that, the muscles can shrink if we let them. But in order to prevent that, we do a lot of exercise. We do about 2 hours of exercise every day. And that's to keep those muscles strong. You know, and usually on Earth, if you worked out for 2 hours every day, you would get really tired. But here, because for the rest of the day, we don't really use those muscles much, the recovery is much faster, and we're able to work out on a much more repetitive basis.
Hi, my name is Emily Garcia, and my question is, what safety processes do you go through to get ready for launch?
There is a huge team of people who work really hard to ensure that all of the engineering specifications and everything that we can think of is ready for the launch of a vehicle. And that process actually continues for the space station, which has been up here for 23 years. There are people continuously looking at the environment of the space station, any new pieces of equipment that come up here, the way we have configured or set up our racks and our power supplies and anything else we do. There's always a team of safety people looking hard to keep us safe. And so it sort of starts with the design. We design to be safe, and then you inspect and verify that you're meeting those requirements. And then as things change, you have to assess and continuously assess the safety aspects for launch. You know, there's no way to make things perfectly safe. You cannot think of everything possible problem that could exist. And so there is risk, obviously, involved in all of this. But we do our best with our current understanding to make things as safe as possible.
Hi, my name is Carson Cook, and my question is, how does your body react when you are launching at such high speeds?
Hey, Carson. Well, it feels kind of like you're on a roller coaster, or maybe a really fast jet, if you've ever been in one of those, or a really fast car when you first hit the accelerator. And so you have a lot of what we call G-forces, but the good thing is that they're not acting to get the blood out of your head, which would really make you pass out. We sit or lay in a way that those forces go through our chest. And so it makes it a little bit more difficult to breathe. It almost feels like somebody or something is standing on your chest when you're trying to breathe. But you're able to think really clearly, and you're able to do things. It's just really a little bit harder to move your arms or move your fingers against those forces. But generally, that's about it, and you're able to function at your full capacity.
Hi, my name is Anaya Pugh, and my question is, what is the hardest part of everyday life in space?
It's like life on the ground. I mean, the routine, you get into the routine and it just works out about the same. It's not necessarily any harder. The environment, you have to get adjusted to the environment. We do maintain a very long and continuous schedule. And I mean, Frank's been up here for almost a year at this point and really has not had a vacation. And so getting those breaks, so we have to build those into the week. So they try to give us weekends off. We try and find ways to allow ourselves to relax and do that recovery. And so that's sort of the hardest thing, is sort of the pace and the routine and allowing yourself to really pace it out and be ready to work on any given day.
Hi, my name is Omar Sanchez. What kinds of things do you think we might learn about the moon that we don't already know from the Apollo missions?
Hey, Omar, that is a great question, because some of our friends will hopefully be going to the moon here shortly, and who knows who else might be going in the near future. But I think the biggest difference between the Artemis missions and the Apollo missions is that we plan to go back to the moon and stay there for longer periods of time. And so to do that, we have to just think about things a little bit differently. For instance, how do we produce energy so that we can use it for longer periods of time? How do we produce water or regenerate water? So we're going to be looking at how do we use the materials that are already present on the moon, especially the regolith, or the rocks that are broken up. Can we use those to make bricks? We've also found out since the Apollo missions that there's ice on the moon. And can we use that ice both for our day-to-day living and, more importantly, to generate fuel or energy for our spacecraft? And so really, I think the biggest difference is going to be that we're going to go there and we're going to stay much longer. And hopefully the things we learn in staying longer will help us explore deeper into our solar system and our universe someday.
Hi, I'm Aya, a structural design engineer at Boeing and a member of the ISS Mimic team. And on behalf of all of the students at Odyssey Academy, I'd like to thank you for your time with us today.
All right, well, thank you so much to all the students at Odyssey Academy. We want to give a shout out to Matt B. from all your friends at JSC, but to all the students, thank you so much for your curiosity and your desire to learn. That's probably the best thing about being an astronaut, is that we have a job that allows us to continue to learn every day and to continue to grow, and I encourage you to do the same. All right, you guys take care. Have fun.
Station, this is Houston ACR, and that concludes the event.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.
Copy, thanks, man.